And welcome back to the updated Judgment video. So this has been quite requested. I apologize for not getting to it sooner. I have had it updated quite for. So these updates were made because of the comments. And one of the things was my choice. So it is a little bit less Deimos now. It's still mostly Deimos, but just a tiny bit less. And we're going to go check it out now. This isn't going to be near as long a video because I'm not doing a full breakdown, but I will post that video in the description so you can look at it if you want. You can see I have changed the automated weapons. I have changed the reactor and moved the gas cylinder up here and put a different grav drive over there because it looks better. It's a much nicer quality appearance. And, I mean, we're playing space Legos, but we like to have pretty space Legos, right? So let's take a look here in the builder, and I'll show you the things. I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. I just watched the video again. So I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff of what I have changed. So, first and foremost, in the skill set here, your stats, the original had 30 light year. It dropped to 29, still plenty. It has an absurd level of damage compared to what it did have, even though it still basically has the same three sets of weapons. I changed the model of them with the exception of the MEVs we'll show you. And so now it's just absolute insanity. It increased in mass by 26, so nothing terrible there, really. It did increase a fair bit in storage capacity. The raw storage prior to this, hit B here, the raw storage prior was 5,040 and now it's 5,270. So a little bit more. I squeezed as much out of it as I could. This is my daily driver, so I wanted, everything in the kitchen sink, so to speak. The hull went up considerably. It was, well, okay, that's not that considerable. 1494 for my original build. Now it's 1527. I think that's just from, man, it can't just be from those. Weapons? Maybe. Alright, so what I changed is one of the comments was, you should change to this. Remember I had that kind of more brass looking cylinder, the one that has the circle in the back of it. They're both 40, so it's 40 power for both. This one's just a touch more expensive. This one you can get at Stroud Eklund. There's probably a few other spots, but definitely you can get it at Stroud. And it just has a nicer look to it. And it really plays off well with the tank being here, the helium tank. That was a suggestion in the comments, and they're right, 100%. It's fantastic, looks great. Really gives it a good vibe. And what I did to do that, or after doing that, I did drop, excuse me, still having some throat issues. I did drop to a single thick Class B versus the Class C that I had for grav drive to a 36, and I still have 29 range. So that's fantastic. That saves about another 4,000 right there. Now, do not misunderstand, this build is more expensive now. Instead of being around the 360k range, it's closer to about 450. And this is with 404 in commerce. But, hey man, if I can save some money somewhere, I'll save some money somewhere. And this saves about 4,000 because the other grav drive I had was 28 and some change. So that's good. It still gives me 29. Happy there. I did previously have this 20T and I had the 10T, which is the 320 shielded, and it kind of angles up just like this belly does. And so I was saying that if you were to do that in that video, you could probably do exactly what I did. And well, so I did exactly what I said you could do. And I added another 20T and then this belly aft from Deimos, of course. And so you have this angle here, you come across, and you have an angle there. With the exception of this bulk out, it is a similar shape because these angle down, come across, angle up. So it looks really nice, very pleasant look to the bottom of it. This is still the same. I'll take that back. I had two of these, and I had the 220s, 240s that were not shielded cargo because this was shielded. Now this one's your shielded cargo, and instead of having, yes, my OCD drives me crazy on this because it's not the same thing, but this is higher. I had the 220, 240 version of this over here, but since I was able to get a little bit more mass, because it also weighs 56, 58 or something, and I could get just a touch, because the maximum on this is 2817, and then I dropped to 99. So, hey man, 300 cargo versus 220, 240, I'll take it. It just squeezed that tiny little bit of extra cargo out of it. So remember, on the other ship where I was talking about, you had the 6 Deimos landing gear, and I said you could put 1 here in the center to have 5 because you didn't actually need all 6. Because I wanted this nice sleek look, I changed to Nova gear. So yes, it is a little bit less Deimos looking because I changed to the Nova, but because the Nova gives you 4 lander thrust versus 3 lander thrust, I only have 4 landing gear now. And I like the look of it, I'm not going to lie. You've got the thinner pieces up here, which I think really give a good aesthetic on the bottom. And then in the back, you got the nice big fat ones, which also I think kind of makes sense. It looks like double landing gear, even though it's not really. They're the same thing as these little ones in the front, but it's that RP. It's that it just looks more appropriate to the space, right? So that's all the changes down there. And now for the big change. The big change is these. These are not available at your outpost. Now that has been brought to my attention, now I know where to go to get them all the time. I've brought the page up on the internet here, and I'll tell you. So you can get them at Stroud Eklund. So if you're in the Narion system like I am, you can get them at Stroud Eklund. You can also weirdly get them at the clinic. That's just random that you can get them at the clinic, but whatever. You can get them at Hopetown, both inside and out. Aquila, and that's the ship services tech. The Red Mile, Lon Anderson inside. And then Neon. Neon City, you can get them at both. Tayo and the ship services tech. So those are the only places you can get this weapon. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. And these are, although they look like they're laser weapons, they are particle beams. And they do, these are the 640s. They do such an obscene level of damage, it's just absolute insanity. Now, here's something you haven't heard from me yet. I am switching from the DPS train into the Alpha train because I switched to these. So I had, these are the Alpha beams, the PB300s. I had the PB300 neutron beam, I think is what it's called, which have, let's see, that. They have the refire rate of 4, still 3,000, but they do something like that, like 48 damage or something like that. Whereas these do much higher damage, but have a slower refire rate. I kind of am starting to like Alpha Strike, High Alpha Strike more. Maybe it's just how I fight when I go into battles, and the types of things I fight on regular. Because I currently am still friends with or allied, I should say, with the Crimson Fleet. I can't jump in. Well, I could jump in and cause problems if I wanted to the key, but I don't do that on a regular basis, and nothing else I fight puts up any real problem to me. I'd rather just one volley destroy them. And so that's kind of the path I'm going now. So I still have these. These were on the original ship. I didn't change them. I changed these from... Nope, wrong way. Right. Weapons. zoom all the way down here. Alright. So that's what I have. This is what I used to have. So fire rate of 4. These do higher DPS. Do not misunderstand me. The DPS on these is lower than the PBO 300s. But these hit harder per shot. So per volley, these are doing more damage than what these are doing. And since I changed to these MEVs that do an absurd amount of damage, the ships are all dead before I can even bother about hitting them 2 or 3 or 4 consecutive times. So now I'm just going through for just big outright damage, and I might eventually, if I can find something that's anywhere close to these, better than these, change these out as well. Maybe I'll try laser at some point, put some good laser turrets on, or ballistic turrets or something. We'll see. But yeah, it does. Oh my god, the amount of damage this thing does is insane. But yeah, it looks a lot meaner now with these 3 on here because of their white and red coloring. And I really love the look of these 2 up there like that. That was an outstanding. These weapons and this change were recommended in the comments, and I agree 100%. They were right. I don't have the person to quote them, so I apologize for that. But yeah, so more cargo, more hull, still has 100 mobility, still has over the 28 jump range, still has 11 crew, which is irrelevant, has insane damage. I didn't change anything on the interior, so that's all the same. Like I said, I'll put the video down below. You can go check it out if you want to see the interior walkthrough, the full build, everything, if you haven't seen that video. But other than that, yeah, it's great. I love it. I hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching.